very much.
Hey everybody, it's Edie and welcome to Mixed Mediology. Today's video is all about a brand new group that I started on Facebook, what it is, what it's called, and why I got it going. So a little bit of backstory. Years and years and years and years and years ago, I think I was probably about 14 or 15 years old, I got interested in tarot. And you know, I already talked about this a little bit, and I was brought up in a house where, you know, witchy stuff was not allowed, so I wasn't ever allowed to study tarot or even have tarot cards or anything like that, but I was really interested in it. And then a few years later, I think I was maybe, I don't know, 18 or 19, someone gifted me a deck of tarot cards, and I was really excited because I had been wanting to learn tarot for, you know, a few years at that point. So I started trying to learn tarot, and I was reading the book and like trying to memorize the meaning of each card by the book. Like I was trying to memorize exactly what the book said, and I wasn't even really reading the cards. I wasn't necessarily looking into the cards. I definitely wasn't reading intuitively at all. I was just trying to memorize text with card number 1, the Magician, card 0, the Fool. Like I was just trying to memorize the meanings. And then, you know, I was young, and I didn't even know what paganism was at the time, and I was just, and there was no one around that I could talk to. I grew up in South Carolina, and you just, like that, you're going to hell if you do any of that. You're worshiping the devil. So there was not, it wasn't like I had anybody I could go talk to and say, hey, is there another way to do this? Am I doing it right? Or can you help me? Or anything. I didn't have any elders to talk to. So I kind of put it on the back burner because I just wasn't getting it. I was not comprehending it at all. And then I thought, well, maybe I just need a different deck. So at that time I was thinking, I was still in the thinking process of, in the mindset of you have to be gifted a deck. I did know that much. You were supposed to be gifted a deck. You were never supposed to buy a deck of tarot cards. And I think I don't even remember where I saw that at. I might have seen it in one of the books that I had seen at the bookstore. Like it wasn't like someone had told me or I studied, but I knew you weren't supposed to buy your deck. So I was waiting and waiting, and no one bought me a deck. Fast forward several years, I knew I was pagan. I was studying all kinds of different aspects of paganism, and tarot started to call to me again. And I was still kind of thinking you had to be gifted a deck, but I also wanted a deck, and I didn't really know a whole lot of pagan people at the time, so I knew my odds of being gifted a deck were pretty fucking slim. So I bought a tarot deck, and I tried again, learning the text and not reading the cards, but just trying to learn the text. And as a matter of fact, the deck that I bought, I didn't connect with the deck at all. It happened to be an Egyptian deck. I don't vibe with Egyptian stuff at all, really. And the only reason I bought this deck was because it was the cheapest deck at the store. And I think it was on sale. It was like, you know, a big tarot sale. They might have even been used. I don't even know. Anyway, so I bought this deck because it was just the cheapest deck there was. I was not connected to this deck at all. And so I was trying to memorize the text, and right now I wasn't vibing with these cards at all. I didn't really like them, but I kept them for probably 2 years or so and just never really got it. So I gifted that deck onto someone else, and then I bought probably 3 or 4 decks, and I finally got to I found some that I really liked and that I vibed with, and I started tapping into my intuition a little bit. I was still trying to read by the book, but I was noticing that when I looked at the cards, I was sensing something, and I thought I was understanding the meaning, but what I was seeing and what I was getting from the cards was totally different from what was in the book most of the time. Sometimes it was, you know, pretty close. Excuse me. And sometimes it was close enough that I was like, oh, okay, I understand this card, you know, but I was still trying to just learn the text. Or if I saw something and it didn't go with the text, I thought I was wrong. So I would just discount what I thought and try to memorize what the book said. So this went on for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, me trying to learn tarot and not vibing with the cards, or starting to listen to my intuition but not trusting it at all, and then trying to change it to what the book said. So I went through a few decks, probably, I don't know, 8 decks or so, 8 different decks, and I never could grasp tarot. So I walked away from tarot, I gave all of my cards away, and I was just like, you know what, tarot is just not for me. It's just not my thing. I can do pendulum, I have other ways of divination, but tarot is just not for me, and I was okay with that. Well, a couple of years ago, tarot started, like, you know, tapping me on the shoulder again, so to speak. And I was just like, no, tarot cards are expensive, and I don't even know how to read tarot, and I'm not buying fucking tarot cards. No, I'm not doing it. So I didn't listen. Didn't listen to the little tappy tappy tappy. Then I think it was last year or the year before last. I think it was year before last. Like, I was really being pulled to look into tarot again. And I discovered oracle cards. And I had seen them before, but I didn't really know what they were. I didn't know the difference. And I had no interest in tarot. Or, you know, I was trying to suppress the interest in tarot. So I had no interest in oracle cards. So I didn't learn about them or look into them or anything. But there was this really, like, significant nagging for me to start looking into them again. So last year, for some reason I was putting tarot cards in my wish list on Amazon. Like, I don't read tarot, I'm not interested in tarot, but I'm going to put them in my wish list. So that's what I did. And I had maybe 8 decks, maybe 10 decks in my wish list. And then my best friend Stephanie came from New York to Sicily to visit me. And I knew she was coming. And she has a couple of decks. She has like some angel decks and affirmation decks and different things like that. And I was like, ooh, she has decks. She likes decks. I want to get some decks. I'm starting to really like decks, because I was really starting to get into these oracle decks. So we decided that when she came, we would both get a deck. We would each get a different deck and then play with each other's decks. That way we could see 2 decks while she was here and go from there, right? Okay, so, and if you saw my Sacred Rebels unboxing, you really know the story behind this. But what the short version of this is, she ordered Soul Cards 1, I ordered Sacred Rebels. My cards were really late getting here. Her cards arrived. I was playing with her cards. The Soul Cards called to me. And so I said, can I take these? You take the Sacred Rebels if you like them, or I'll just buy you a new deck. And she liked the Sacred Rebels, so she took the Sacred Rebels. And then I rebought it for myself. Okay, so all that to tell you this. I really love my oracle cards. So I have the Sacred Rebels, and then I have Soul Cards 1, which I adore, and then I got Soul Cards 2 for Christmas, which I haven't unboxed yet because I'm saving it for a video, and I also got a Lenormand deck that I have not unboxed yet because I'm saving it for video. So I have oracle decks, but I don't have any physical tarot decks. I have a shit ton of tarot apps, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But all of my physical cards are oracle cards, and all of my tarot decks are digital decks. But here's what I've decided. Over the course of several years, leading up to this need for cards, I was learning that my intuition was right. I just didn't listen to it or trust it in the past, and I thought I was doing it wrong. I thought I was reading tarot wrong. I thought I couldn't read tarot. I thought I couldn't learn it. Thought it just wasn't for me. The issue really was that my intuition was telling me one thing, but I was ignoring it and listening to the book. And that's where the disconnect came in. I've honed my intuition on other things since then, and now I know that my intuition outweighs any book any day of the week. So when I get something intuitively, that's what I listen to. Even with my Oracle decks, so like the soul cards, and the soul cards are really what I cut my teeth on with this whole intuitive reading thing. Really honed my readings with the soul cards, because there's no book at all. Like there's a little white book. It's even less of a little white book than most little white books. So I've really like tapped into that intuitive reading, and I love it, and that's how I read. Even with my Sacred Rebels, I read the card intuitively first and gain my own insight from it, and then I go read the passage in the book just to see what the book has to say. Because I love these cards, and I always love what the book has to say. Even if it's not necessarily what I saw intuitively, the book always makes sense. I've never had a bad reading from these cards, even reading from the book. So I've learned to read intuitively, and I've practiced with my digital tarot decks, and I read those intuitively, but I'm not an expert by any means. I'm probably beginner to intermediate on intuitively reading tarot. But as far as reading traditionally, I'm a complete noob. I know nothing about the traditional meanings, and I had no real intention of learning it. However, now that I'm really getting into it a little bit more, and I want to start collecting decks, I want to take my intuitive readings to a deeper level, and I want to start incorporating some traditional meanings into what I know intuitively. So now let me preface that by saying I'm going to do this, but I'm only going to use what already speaks to me, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. But what I've decided to do is a year and a day tarot study. So starting on my birthday, which was March 15th, for a year and a day, I'm going to basically immerse myself in the tarot and do a tarot journey through the entire deck over the course of the next year. And what I plan to do is I'm using my digital decks, which I really like physical decks. I love shuffling the cards and holding them and looking at them and touching them. But like I said, all my tarot decks are digital. So what I've decided to do is use my digital decks and work my way through the entire tarot. And I'm going to start just like I do with my oracle cards. I'll read it intuitively and like get every little bit of juice that I can out of each card. So I'll start with the Fool, and I'll just get everything I can out of the Fool. And once I like purge myself intuitively and get everything out that I feel or sense or get or think from the Fool, then I'm going to go back and read the book and see what the book has to say about the Fool. And taking from the book what I agree with, what I feel, what I sense, what pings for me, what resonates with me, that I'll be adding to my personal tarot book. So I have a tarot journal here. I have a tarot journal, so like when I do a reading, I print the card, I write what I got intuitively from the card, and that's my tarot journal. But I started a separate book. This is basically going to be my tarot guidebook. So each card will have an entry, and what I gain intuitively and what I learned from the books and everything will go into this. So it'll be like a comprehensive guidebook for the entire tarot. So I'll be doing the entire tarot, reading intuitively, then going back to the book and seeing what the book says. Now, that's not this. I'm going to read intuitively and I'm going to take what resonates with me, but that's not to say that I'm just going to discount everything the book has to say. If the book makes me see something I didn't see before, or realize something that I didn't get before, some other little bit, oh, yeah, I see that now. Oh, yeah, I get that. Okay. All of that is so going in my journal. But what I'm talking about is, if I'm reading a card and to me it means optimism and I'm sensing nothing but optimism and, good luck and happiness and all that stuff, but the card is telling me you're gonna have really shitty luck. Yeah, that's not going in my journal. So yeah, but if the book tells me, you know, time for a change, and I'm seeing optimism, then okay, yeah, I can see that, and I'll add that to my, you know, my comprehensive guidebook. Let's see. Oh, so digital decks. All of my tarot decks are digital, and hold on, I'll show them to you. So I have, oh, I don't know if you can see, I have several different decks, and that's the Magician card because that's the card that I'm on right now. I have several different digital tarot decks. I think I have like 9 or 10. So that's all my digital decks. And I'm using all of the decks each week. So I'm starting with the Fool, and I'm doing the Fool from every deck. And I'm reading each one intuitively for every deck. Then, after I've read each card intuitively, then I'm going back to the beginning and reading the book for each card. For each, like, Fool across the board for every deck. And then the Magician, and then, you know, the High Priestess and the Hierophant, all of them, every card. So that's my plan. And I will be doing this over the course of the next year and a day. Well, a little under a year now, because I started on my birthday, and today is March 21st. So blessed Ostara. And that's my plan, yeah. So I'm going to spend probably about 4 days or so per card, and just immerse myself in that card. So I've just finished the Fool, that's why I keep talking about it. So I've just finished the Fool, and I've just started the Magician. So I took 4 days with just the Fool from all those decks intuitively, and then from the book, and now I'm on the Magician. And I put it out there, and I was like, okay, this is my plan, and I kind of talked about it on Facebook and asked if anybody else wanted to come along for the journey. And some people said, yeah, let me come along. I don't know anything about tarot, but I want to learn. Or, yes, I know how to read tarot, but I want to reconnect with tarot, or I just want to go deeper. Or some people even said, I have no interest in tarot, but I think it'd be really fucking interesting to follow along and see what you come up with. So, I started a private group on Facebook, and it's called Amaranthine Oracle. And I chose the word Amaranthine because it means never ending. And basically, your connection to tarot and your learning from the tarot and your insight from tarot is never ending. Even if you learn what every card symbolizes, every time you read, you're going to see something new in the card, or it's going to be a new setting or a new nuance behind it. So really, learning from the tarot is never ending. And obviously tarot cards are oracle cards, hence Amaranthine Oracle. So what I did was I started the group, and it's a go at your own pace, do your own thing, use what decks you have, use the system that you want to use, go intuitively, read only from a book, use a single deck, whatever it is, it doesn't really fucking matter. We're just doing it together. I'm not teaching anything, I'm not posting prompts or anything like that. However, I will share tidbits or interesting articles or things that I might think would be helpful to everyone. And I'm sharing my process. So each week I will be posting probably 2 entries for the week, you know, 2 different cards for the week. So I'm facilitating in that way and kind of leading the way, but it's for everybody to share what they're doing. Some people aren't even using tarot cards. Some people are using oracle cards or affirmation cards, different things like that. So it's for everyone who wants to take this next year to just connect deeper with their chosen form of oracle. And it is a closed group, so, or private, not secret. So you can search it and find it, but no one can see the content, so it's a closed group on Facebook. And it's just for women, and it's just for the study of your chosen oracle and sharing and, you know, gaining insight from other people and seeing what they see in specific cards and sharing what you see in specific cards and sharing our decks and things like that. So yeah, that's what it is. And I was just going to keep it to the people that have already said they were interested, just my friends on Facebook, but I think it would be really cool for other people to be involved if they want to be. So I'm opening up, not opening the group, but I'm sending an offer. What's the fucking word? Oh my God, I'm like stammering because I can't think. Invitation! Jesus! I'm sending the invitation to everyone here on YouTube that if you're interested in following along with my journey or taking the journey on your own or just, you know, sharing your insights as you read tarot, then come on over to the Amaranthine Oracle group on Facebook and, you know, join the fun. There will be a link in the description below, so all you have to do is clicky, 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 and then come join. It's really late at night. Like, everyone else in my house is already in bed, and I should be in bed too. I'm losing my voice. Yeah, so that's why I'm like stammering and I don't ever say that much, but yeah, I'm tired. Alright, that's it. I'm done rambling, but I really wanted to just come on and talk a little bit about my process, like leading up to this, and because I've already shared all of this on Facebook, so if you've seen me on Facebook, this is old news to you and you already know about all this stuff, but or maybe you don't, I don't know, because Facebook's algorithm is all kinds of fucked up and nobody sees anything anymore, but whatever. That's another video. But yeah, I wanted to share this for those of you who didn't know the story and didn't know about the group, so that you would kind of know what it was, know if it's something that you'd be interested in, and how to join us. So again, the link is down below. If you want to join, then clicky clicky and come on over to the Amaranthine Oracle group on Facebook. That's it! My clothes are falling off! Oh my gosh, I gotta go to bed. Remember, you can find me all over the place. I'm all over Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on Pinterest. I have the Mixed Mediology Clubhouse, the group that I run on Facebook, where we do swaps and post all kinds of cool stuff and have good conversations, and yeah, it's a really good group. And now I have the Amaranthine Oracle Year and a Day Tarot Study group, Tarot Journey. I like the word journey better. Yeah, so you can find the links to all those places down below, so just click those and come hang out with me. If you like what I do here, don't forget to hit that little, am I like flashing you? God, sorry. Sorry. You just got boop shot. Sorry. Remember, if you like what I do here, don't forget to hit that little subscribe button. That way you don't miss anything. And then share it with all of your friends. That way they can hang out with us too. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hey everybody, it's Edie, and welcome to Mixed Mediology. Today's video is talking about, what am I talking about? Shit. Hey everybody, it's Edie and welcome to Mixed Mediology. Today's video is all about a brand new group that I've started on Facebook, and I want to tell you a little bit about it, what it's called, and why I decided to do it. Am I still, oh my god. I'm still wearing my hoodie, damn it. So we keep our house like a fucking igloo all the time, and this is what happens is I get dressed up and I put on cute clothes and a cute skirt, and then I walk around in socks and fuzzy slippers and hoodies, so you can't even see what I'm wearing. And I was supposed to take the hoodie off. God damn it.